Name a career where people invest in new people every single year that aren't their own. Educators. And I'm one of them. As a fifth-year educator, I've worked in 5 different schools in 5 different states, some small, some large, public and charter, not by force, but by choice, searching for the novelties of schooling itself. Of course, we understand our education system is flawed and highly problematic at times, but emblematic of the most sustainable schools are empowered teachers. It's clear to me, just as students don't learn much from teachers they don't like, teachers can't flourish in environments that don't love them back. Psychologists and neuroscientists have proven learning is deeply social and relational. Allow me to illustrate this for you. It's summer teacher orientation at School X. School leaders say, let's read this book, let's align ourselves to this message, and so that we can move in the right direction this school year. What a great idea, right? Well, here's the reality. 50% of those teachers won't even read that book, and I fall in that category sometimes. Some of them will get the wrong message, and others will internalize it differently. What I'm explaining to you is this. Schools think they're so great at norming, so they don't have to learn much about their teammates, the teachers. What a really fancy term to be just lackadaisical. Schools that are empowering teachers are doing this work by implementing 3 key elements: empowering and investing, participation and autonomy, and job redesign. Let's start with job redesign. Eric Hole provides this affirmation for us. He says professionalism is that I am an abstract body of knowledge, not defined by my employer. It comes with me wherever I go. I have a set of values that cannot be owned or manipulated, and if those are ever undermined, it creates turmoil. Because of this, we see great schools allowing their teachers to do what they do best every day. Yes, it requires schedule adjustments, it requires fluidity of roles, but the benefits are worth it. In these schools, you see administrators who love teaching, still teaching students. You see teachers who have really strong connections and ties to the communities, implementing and affording opportunities for the school to support the neighborhood. And those teachers that really have a really strong interest in arts and gardening, they're the leaders of the school's beautification strategic plan. It looks different in every environment. The second thing, investing. You give power to who you spend your time with, what you spend your time doing, and what you spend your money on. So why are we not investing in teachers? This is really done well in 2 of the schools I taught at. One of the schools set aside a small budget for teachers to do just this. We celebrated November, K-N-O-W-Vember, where I was able to explore the city on the school's dime with a colleague I didn't know very well. That colleague would end up attending my wedding 2 months ago. We ended up traveling to Italy together and even went to Morocco. In a second school I taught in, I was able to travel across the country to a school development conference that I chose because I know my learning best. And thirdly, participation and autonomy. If you know a teacher, you know that we are some of the most outspoken people who can attest to what the problems are. Teachers don't just need an ear of someone at the table, they should be at the table themselves, making decisions that directly impact their students' learning and growth. This is what should be happening. In schools around our nation, there's also a lack of autonomy. In my 4th year of teaching, I sparked a revolutionary act of sorts, I guess. I moved into my classroom with this really beautiful modern gray couch. And y'all, teachers mumbled in the classrooms and in the hallways about it, about how in past years, administrators did not allow teachers to have home furniture in the classrooms. But for me, couches were deeply personal. It's where I got my hair braided by my auntie. It's where I had really insightful conversations with friends and family. And most importantly, it was where I took the epic naps that I've always wanted. It was deeply personal. Bringing this couch into my classroom had a transformative impact on my students. We now started our morning meetings outside of our desks and chairs. We sat in vulnerability with each other. Now student conflicts, they were talking them out on that couch. They listed out the mistakes, the missteps, the misconceptions, the steps forwards, and even they gave apologies, y'all. Think about that. Relationships were restored on that couch. And I was able to address behavioral issues in a non-threatening, therapeutic way. It created an unimaginable peace in that space. It was phenomenal. Even teachers would come into my classroom and talk to me on that couch. And by March, my students had the highest percentage in the entire school being projected to pass the state exam. What an amazing feat. But I truly believe that it was in part of me being able to be who I am and to bring a piece of myself into the classroom. So with this awareness, we have been called to action. We must make decisions that make power awfully personal, because I'm still driven by the belief that students, they're only as happy as their empowered teachers. Thank you.